how do we bring this to our team? You might say, Eileen, I'm fired up, I'm good, I'm loving life, I've been doing this. I am in the job I'm born for, right? Well, but I want my whole team to be. And maybe you have some team members that are, maybe you have some team members that aren't, maybe you have some team members that are hard to read. You're not really sure, right? They're not really telling you. So I want to give you an activity that you can go back and do with your team so that they can feel, right, they're in the job they're born for. So they can get up in the morning like, yes, I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to go to work. So they can walk around and feel confident and strong, executing what they do every day. Does that sound good? Everybody want a team like that? All right, good. So after our session, I'm going to tell you about this activity. And then after our session, Jenny McKenna is going to email you everything you need to do this activity with your team. Okay? So I created and really wanted to find a way for leaders to bring this back to their teams, right? And to bring us all together and having that fun and excitement and energy. So I created an activity that's kind of like a book club. And so you'll be getting the materials that will lead you through exactly what and how to do this activity. But the idea is this. You're gonna kind of have, everyone's going to have the book, and they're going to have if they don't like to read, they can listen to the audio. And you're going to get together and you're going to say, we're going to have a couple of sessions. We're going to meet together, and we're going to find out about your superpowers. Everyone kind of likes that. Isn't kind of like the idea of I like the idea of having superpowers. I like the idea of knowing what they are, right? So we're going to talk about your superpowers, and we're going to talk about your purpose in life, or what's meaningful to you. And when I always get funny reactions. Your purpose in life, what is that? Who knows that, right? And so they're like, okay, I'm intrigued. What is that? So you're like, great. So the first session when you get together with them, it's really just an intro session, right? And so you're saying, okay, team, we're going to be meeting for the next few weeks. We're going to do this really fun activity where you're going to really discover who you are, what the job you're born for, what your superpowers are, what your purpose or meaning in life is. It's going to be really fun. And I'm going to give you this book, and we're going to just read the first 3 chapters, the introduction, chapter 1 and 2. It's just 30 pages. If you don't feel like reading it, just listen to the audio, no problem. And I'm going to give you a little quiz, right? Because people like quizzes. Do they like quizzes? Self-assessments, they're kind of fun. And so we're going to give them a little quiz. It's going to say, is your job aligned with your life mission? People love these things, right? 9 questions we're going to ask you. And you're going to read the questions. You're going to say yes, no, maybe, sometimes. And so that's kind of our kickoff with them, right? It's like, great. So they're all, great, you're going to tell me my superpowers. I'm excited. Then they come back, your first meeting. And this is a really special meeting. Because in this session, and also, by the way, as they're reading the book, we're also going to give them a little worksheet that if they want, they can kind of as they read a chapter, they can ask them a few questions, they can jot down some ideas, so that when they come into your second session, team building, they're ready, they're prepared, they feel comfortable. And so one of the things we're going to do is we're going to ask each person to go around and share. And the book really explains a lot. It really goes into detail. We only have 1 short hour here together today, but the book really gives you lots of examples about superpowers and what they could be and what they look like and all kinds of things. And so we ask them, what are some of your superpowers? And you as the leader are prepared, because we don't want to just ask each person what their superpowers are. We want to find out what the team has to say and comment as well. And this is where that magic happens. So I might come in and say, well, I think I'm really good, with customer service. Like, when residents come in or whatever, I feel like I do a good job, right? And then when we give a team an opportunity to share, and I might say, well, what else, Eileen? Well, I'm also, pretty good at, listening or whatever. I think so I can relate to people. And so then the team has this opportunity to go around and try to chime in and say, what are you talking about? You're amazing with the customer. Everyone becomes your new best friend. You know every resident's name. What's up with that, right? And so your team gets a chance to say and bring out and share with you your superpowers. And they might even bring things up that you never even thought of, right? You didn't realize that was your superpowers. You didn't realize that you were creating great new ideas and solutions. You didn't realize that you were always, making whatever. Your ability to fix something is just unparalleled. Like, there's no thing you can't fix, right? So whatever it is that went wrong, if you go there and show up, you will MacGyver it into working, right? You will know exactly what's wrong. And so you really get the team to start sharing what each other's and what superpowers are. Now think about this. Yesterday, I just went to work and did my job. Today, I go to work, and not only do I do my job, but I know that all these people I work with know my superpowers and think I have superpowers and think I'm really good, and even told me about ones I didn't know. What does it feel like to go to work with people who know your superpowers? Pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome, right? And so now the person's coming to work and they're like, yeah, I'm working. You got me. And then what starts to happen on teams, it's like, hey, Bill, your superpower is this. Come on, we need you. You're awesome at this. You can do this. And you're like, yes, I can do this, right? So now you have employees that have a sense of their superpowers, that learn from their team actually sees their superpowers, admires and respects them for it. Now they're coming to work with a whole new feel of respect, of confidence. Do you think they're going to be happier, more joyful, more motivated? Absolutely. Gosh, I love this idea of walking in and people know my superpowers. I love this. And that they talk about it and highlight it and high-five me. You start a whole new culture and feeling in your team with this whole concept. People are just like congratulating each other, right? Walking around, doing the high-five thing about the superpowers. We're expanding them. We're getting even better. Oh, you're so good at this. I'm sure you can figure it out. I'm sure you'll find another way. I'm sure you'll find a solution. You're amazing at finding new properties, at finding new opportunities, at finding new solutions. That's your superpower. You can do this. Now they're cheering for you. They believe in you. They're cheering for you. They're encouraging you. They're rewarding you. They're recognizing you. Awesome. Love this. And this is just the first session. Right? Second session is we get into the environment, right? How does the environment you work in, right, that you're creating, that you live in, align with who you are? And people start talking about that, you know? And when people talk about the environment, they're like, hey, we could like spruce the place up a little bit. Or hey, we could like add this or add that. Or what do you think if part of our environment is that we all come in and share about our weekends or about the special event? Your environment is a physical environment, but it's also the emotional environment, right? We come in and we say hello. We have lunch together once a week. Whatever the things are that create a company or a working environment that feels good, that feels at home, that feels relaxed, we want to do. It was interesting. I went to a client recently, and right in the front door, I was like, whew. It was this big, like, person-sized poster, and it said, we're glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. And I think they put it up right after COVID, right, because people were not coming to the office, and now they all said they were back, and it was like, whoa, we're so glad you're here. And every time I walk into that corporate office and see that sign, I'm like, yes, I'm happy to be here too. I mean, it just, subliminally puts you in the good mood. It makes you feel good because they're happy to see you, right? So environment, you'll have a place to talk to your employees about the environment. And together, you guys can create any environment you want. My preference is not an environment where people come in and complain. It's not an environment where people talk about all the physical ailments that are bothering them. You know what I mean? That's not the kind of environment I enjoy. It's not the one that enlivens me and excites me and energizes me to perform at my highest level. So team, let's talk about what kind of environment do we want to create? Right? We can do that. So now you are creating and exploring the environment with your team right there. So whether your environment right now is great and you want to make it even better, or your environment right now is okay and there's opportunity for improvement, this is an opportunity with the team to improve that environment. And then the third area is meaning in life. And so you ask people in this last session, you'll say, what about what you do feels meaningful to you? What about what you do feels meaningful? And, it could be anything. You don't know. And this is what you discover with your employees. And you hear as a leader what's meaningful to them. And then you as a leader can kind of tie that in and bring that together. And as part of your coaching and part of your recognition and ability to connect with them, right? Because now you know what's meaningful to them. So this whole exercise really transforms. And you know me, I'm all about results. You will get a result without a question doing these activities with your staff. It will change. You, today, just seeing these three elements about yourself, connecting the dots, and that's what leaders do. People used to joke with me about my book, The Job You're Born For, Working in Companies. They're like, Eileen, if you talk about the job you're born for, are they all going to leave? I'm like, no, they're not. Actually, what's going to happen is they're going to connect the dots between what they do and what's meaningful, right? And they're going to perform at an even higher level. Really? How does that work? Well, because they're here. First of all, you all found your place here for a reason. You're meant to be here. Like you say, it feels comfortable. It feels at home. You have the skills and superpowers to do the job. Somewhere, the meaningfulness of what this organization does and how it stands for connects to your soul in some way. Now, you're walking in with all three things lined up going on. Now, no matter how great you are, I know you're having your awards dinner, right? And there are going to be awards. Wherever level you are at this moment, it can go up. It can be expanded. Think about focusing on those superpowers of yours and expanding to a higher level. More creative, more ability. Connecting everyone you meet just like falls in love with you, loves you, adores you, respects you, admires you, is happy, problems are solved. Every person that you meet is uplifted in your presence and your energy, right? Whatever that superpower is, you're bringing it up, or you're expanding it out. This is your permission to really be fully you. How exciting, right? And do it in an environment. Create the environment you want, right? So it's energizing and enlivening every day. And feel that mission. I mean, when you know that what you're doing is connected to your purpose in life, why you're here, what your mission is, wow, that is awesome. That's when you're really feeling that total excitement and energy every day, in every moment. So exciting, so powerful.